I'm Freddie. I'm one half of Father.
And I'm Joe, the other half of Father.
Father started off the back of Joe and myself being in a band together. After the band broke up, we continued to write music, and we were both working as runners in Soho, and we got a lucky break to kind of write some music for a film for the British Fashion Council, and at the same time a few things came up and we started to see that the music that we wrote could work to picture, so we stopped working as runners and we set up Father about 4 years ago.
I got a free bit of software in a cereal packet, I think it was Golden Graham's, and the software was called EJ, and it was basically some very basic kind of music production software where you were just compiling loops of drums and things like that, and I just remember it being the most amazing thing ever, because I knew nothing about electronic music at the time, but then suddenly I was making it, so that kind of started me on a path, I guess.
So yeah, I first got into music when I was about 9 years old, and I picked up a guitar, and it was for me at that point just a really good thing to concentrate on doing. I think through my academic life I've never been that focused, whereas with music I've always been quite focused on how it works and trying to take my ability from one place to another and progress. I think a lot of people kind of feel that music's such a great hobby to have and could turn into a career, but it's not very clear at a young age how many opportunities there are in the industry.
Like Freddie explained, it was unknown how it would turn into a career, and I don't think it was ever a set path or something that felt realistic, and then through just chance and luck we kind of found a path into what we're doing now. The great thing about music is that it is really accessible.
It starts in the bedroom.
Producers
start in the bedroom, and so it was quite appropriate for us to start our music business in the bedroom. And when you start out with these things, you don't have lots of money and you don't want to keep your overheads low and you don't want too many commitments. So for us, we thought that starting in my bedroom would be a good place to start, and then as we began to see that actually we could afford a space, we began to see what was available to us. But I think there's no harm in starting anything in your bedroom.
Perhaps 20-30 years ago you would have needed a big studio space in Soho and a team and lots of very expensive equipment, and I think a lot of industries, creative industries, the tools are readily available to people, freely available online. A lot of people have access to things that wouldn't previously, so that kind of the talent is what is important over your means, I guess. It was about getting a sense of the story, obviously. The atmosphere, the kind of technical requirements is a big thing. The space and speakers you're using and the duration of the play, and then
I think when you first read a script it feels quite like reality, and it's quite hard to necessarily know where you take which portion of the play you take and start to score it, because I think a score turns a play or acting into kind of hyper reality. Music provides another dimension when you're looking at something, especially when it's quite emotive or emotional.
Because we work in a duo, we can have discussion around it and find a middle ground between our thoughts and feelings about something, and then there's also just playing instruments and having a jam and seeing what comes out of that, and then that's a big way for us to kind of have a musical discussion around an idea, and then we'll kind of create this new thing out of both our separate approaches and understanding of what we're working with. Once we generate those ideas, again in the context of theatre, we discuss them with the director and we try them out in rehearsals, and then if they work, great, we develop them. If not, we go back to the drawing board and try out other things.
I guess our aim with this is to try and imagine how we can reshape the 90s in a way that feels relevant to a younger audience who possibly weren't even born in the 90s.
There'll be moments where it's not obvious reading the script that there might be music there, but through the process of the rehearsals and as everyone gets to understand the structure of the play a lot better, there'll be moments where it will be like, oh, it'll be perfect to have some score there.
Music helps to tell the story, and it helps to possibly present something that you can't necessarily see or hear through dialogue, but it isn't the only storyteller.